This is not my normal content because usually when I see a craft that I love, I immediately think, how can I turn this into a craft party? But when I saw this one, I thought, there is probably no world in which I should be teaching this as a class, but I gotta try this anyway, and you can come along for the ride. Now, I know that there are a number of craft teachers that use polymer clay in their classes. And while I've never actually taught it myself, I do love to work with it. So when this little pumpkin project came across my feed by Made Cutters, I was like, wait, I need these in my life and I probably have to make one for all of my people. Now in this video, I'm going to show you my process, but I actually made a full tutorial on YouTube where I go into a lot more detail because it was a little bit of a trial and error. So with this project, you're actually going to do a number of little funky things that you wouldn't normally do. Weirdly, you need some styrofoam 1-inch balls. And we're going to fashion the clay around those 1-inch balls. And then, and I know this is where I'm going to get some negative comments, we're going to bake those styrofoam balls and the styrofoam ball will shrink. So yeah, I'm aware. Should I bake styrofoam balls? Probably not. That's why I used a toaster oven outside that is designated specifically for polymer clay. The way that I get a hold of one is I actually just asked my Buy Nothing group. It turns out there are a ton of crafters in there and they were more than happy to let me borrow theirs. If I ever decide to start teaching polymer clay classes, I might invest in my own, but for now, this worked well. I chose some cute little clay cutters from Made It Cutters and did my best to follow the instructions. She has these little pumpkin faces and you basically press into the clay but not all the way through. Once you bake these little pumpkins, the styrofoam is going to shrink in the oven, turning it into a little tiny ball, and then you actually have to take an X-Acto knife and carve out the pumpkin. See, look, that's how much it shrinks. I found that carving out the little faces was the most satisfying process ever. And when I was done with these little pumpkins, I turned it into a garland that I'll show in the end. But I have to say, this project was so relaxing and made me so happy. And even though it's not a great craft party, I definitely wanted to show it off.